Hello and good morning, children. Very good to have a session with you once again. And this is in connection to the previous model yesterday. And we have finished with The Gift of India poem, which is written by Sarojini Naidu. And I presume that all of you have understood it very well. If at all you haven't, you are always free to inform me or connect me on WhatsApp through your class teacher or through your class WhatsApp group. Please do so that you do not have any kind of a doubt or any kind of a problem in understanding the text. So what you see in front of you today is a dictation, a note that I have prepared, and I'm going to be sending this as a Word document to all of you so that you can easily download that or read whenever you want. But that's not what I am going to talk or discuss today. What I'm going to talk and discuss is a long answer, an essay type answer, which comes for around 20 marks, or which will come for 20 marks in your paper. And it is important for you to know how we treat the question. Okay, so I have a question ready for you. It says that you have to analyze The Gift of India as a patriotic poem filled with deep love for one's motherland. So how would you analyze it, or how would you justify? What did I say? I said The Gift of India is a patriotic poem filled with deep love for one's mother country, for one's motherland. How would you justify and how would you analyze this statement? So how would you begin? Say, children, you must always try to write about the theme, write on the theme, because such questions which need analysis or justification are wonderful questions, and you are free to express the way you have understood it. Okay, so I feel The Gift of India is a patriotic poem, highly surcharged with the sentiments of Sarojini Naidu towards the Indian soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the British cause during the First World War. So if you have listened to me carefully, I've mentioned the name of the poetess also, and I've also given a very short background of the First World War in just one word. Sarojini Naidu wrote this poem in 1915 when India was colonized by the British, and who had usurped the sovereignty of India, bringing her down into shackles of slavery. It was through this poem that Sarojini Naidu wanted to pay a tribute to the martyred Indian soldiers, and arouse the spirit of nationalism among the Indians. So here you see how I'm talking about the theme. In this poem, Sarojini Naidu has lent voice to her patriotic fervor by personifying Mother India. Now I come to the technical knowledge of the poem. Being a patriot and a mother herself, Sarojini Naidu has beautifully expressed the feelings of pride for her valiant sons, as well as agony at the loss of their lives, with wonderful imageries, that of auditory, visual, tactile, which is always a quintessential element in Sarojini Naidu's poem. So here I also give a little bit of knowledge about the way the poem has been constructed. The poem definitely follows a wonderful AABBCC rhyming scheme, which lends it a very poetic and rhythmic tone. Well, in the very beginning of the poem, Mother India laments the loss of India's resources, which the British were exploiting for their own selfish interests and depriving the Indians of their own wealth. And to them, it was like the richest of garments, food, or gold. So British, if she has withheld any of her resources from the Britishers, like the rich garments, food and gold, so that is Mother India, exclaims that more than these worldly riches, she has given the sons born out of her womb to serve the British war cause. So here the poetess is indirectly telling the world how the British are exploiting India's priceless treasures, in quotes, So you put it in quote in order to decorate your answer and put a little bit of weightage. So as I was telling you, that Britishers were exploiting India's priceless treasures in form of both men and material resources. In the next few lines, the poem has poignantly described the pain and agony of the mother whose sons are snatched away from her and sacrificed at the altar of war. Here, Mother India claims that she has generously given her material wealth, but her heart bleeds for her brave sons, who have been taken away from her ruthlessly and been deployed in foreign lands to serve the British interests. But of course, she doesn't blame anybody because she's the one who sacrificed it for the betterment of the country. So the poetess Sarojini Naidu refers to, see how I'm using the name of the poetess again and again, which is important, but not too many times. Otherwise, it becomes very, very morose and boring. So the poetess refers to the Indian soldiers who died in Persia, Egypt, Belgium, and France, and during the First World War. So these sons of India were no way involved in the cause or outcome of the war, but being the employees of British government in India, they were duty bound to obey the commands of their self-assumed masters. So they were puppets in the hand of puppeteers. This brings in a theme of anti-war or anti-battle in the poem. So they were not even given proper burial. Their bodies lay in alien graves. As I told you before, I had mentioned Wilfred Owen's name when I was lecturing through the poem. So they lay on alien lands, lifeless like a shell, and has been abandoned by even by the animals and like withered flowers. So you see how Sarojini Naidu or such war poets like Wilfred Owen, they speak of anti-war element. They bring in the anti-war element by showing the atrocity of war, right? This is how you're going to go about it, and you have to also summarize the poem in little details with important quotes. Children, quoting lines is very, very important. In a 20 marks answer, you must have minimum of 10 to 12 quotes to support you. Why do you quote, children? You quote in order to prove what you've written is right. Right? So this is how you're going to end. And finally, thus, The Gift of India is indeed a patriotic poem filled with deep love for the motherland, and indirectly a call for all Indians to remember with love and honor the heroic deeds of the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for our today and future. So this is how you're going to end the question. So, well, this is a very short discussion, children, and I hope you've at least got a hang of it. We'll have some more discussion later, but of course, please go through the analysis, the dictation that I'm going to send in a Word document along with this lecture today, and keep memorizing them so that it's easier for you to understand, and very well you can write it down whenever you need it. All right, so stay well and take care of yourself. Things are spreading fast. Be very careful, and see you tomorrow with the new lesson, that is Tempest, Act 1, Scene 1.